Welcome to Italy, land of ancient ruins, Renaissance art, and incredible food. Italy is a dream destination, but it can be challenging to figure out the perfect itinerary, especially if you're short on time. We're Karin and Jeremy, and this is how we saw the best of Italy in 1 week. From the historic streets of Rome to the breathtaking canals of Venice, we saw a lot. So whether you're planning your first trip to Italy, or you're just along for the ride, consider this your ultimate guide to spending 1 week in Italy. We'll show you how we hit all the must-see destinations like Rome, Florence, and Venice, and even have time for day trips to Cinque Terre and the hills of Tuscany. From the moment we arrived, Italy captivated us. We ate all the pasta, countless scoops of gelato, and enjoyed la dolce vita. We'll show you how to efficiently travel between cities by train and make the most of your time. If you're looking for the best things to do in Rome, Florence, and Venice, you're in the right place. Just like our other adventures, we paid for this trip ourselves. We have regular full-time jobs, and every train ticket, every hotel stay, and every delicious gelato was paid with our hard-earned money, so you can trust that we're showing you our honest and authentic opinions. Our whirlwind adventure kicks off with a day in Rome, where we explored ancient wonders like the Colosseum, tossed a coin in the Trevi Fountain, and marveled at the Pantheon. Then it was a picturesque train ride north to the iconic cliff-top villages of Cinque Terre before diving into the artistic heart of Florence. In Florence, we spent 2 days seeing iconic art at the Uffizi and Accademia galleries, climbing the Duomo, and indulging in a small group Tuscan wine tour. And our trip ended in the truly unique city of Venice. We spent 2 days in Venice exploring St. Mark's Basilica, getting lost in charming back alleys, and even taking a fascinating day trip to the glass-blowing island of Murano. This video is designed to be your virtual Italian vacation, a delicious tour of highlights and a practical guide for planning your own trip. Our hope is that by the end of this, you'll be ready to book your own flight to this incredible country. We arrived in Rome in the evening and hit the ground running, so let's get started.
It's 9 p.m. and we just arrived in Rome, but we're super hungry, so we're gonna go find some dinner. We came to Mini Coco for dinner. It's near Piazza Navona. And after about a half-hour wait in line, we got seated at about 9:30 p.m. on a Saturday. I'd say that's pretty good. And the food so far is delicious. We'll do our best to tell you how things are, but it's very loud in here.
Got caprese with mozzarella di bufala. This looks so good. The tomatoes are so fresh, sprinkled with oregano. There's some basil in there. This is delicious. And I've got an Aperol Spritz. Perfect. I got pasta alla gricia, which is a pasta with a cheese sauce and bacon, or guanciale. I have never had this before, but this is incredible. I can't believe it took me 5 visits to Italy to try this. Perfect amount of saltiness with the cheese and the guanciale. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Highly recommend.
I got the spaghetti alla carbonara, and the main difference between mine and Karin's is that it has egg in the sauce. Wow. That is amazing. And you can taste that egginess. Very creamy, very smooth. That bacon is so good as well.
We're not sure how much you could hear of our commentary because it was very loud in there, but the food was to die for. The wait might be long, but it's absolutely worth the wait.
And although we're full, there's always room for gelato.
Always. Let's go get some. We came to Frigidarium for some of the best gelato in Rome. I got a piccolo cono, which means a small cone, and it comes with 2 flavors. I got Frigidarium flavor and crema fiorentina. I think they both contain Nutella, and I also got it with panna, which is cream. And the Frigidarium has a delicious cookie on top, our favorite. We always take a bag home when we come back from Italy. And the Frigidarium is a must get. It's their signature flavor. It's like kind of a cake batter with Nutella. It is so good.
I got mine chocolate dipped, which is also something you can do here. And I got pistachio and nocciola, which is hazelnut. Wow, there's nothing better than gelato. I'm very messy. You gotta eat these fast before they melt.
It's a long line, but this gelato is absolutely worth the wait, and it is such an affordable price too. You cannot miss Frigidarium if you are in Rome. Incredible. Today was a very long travel day, but we actually ended up getting some really good food.
Oh yeah.
But we're not done yet, so we will see you tomorrow. Good morning from the Trevi Fountain. We woke up bright and early to try and have this place to ourselves. We got here before sunrise.
That didn't work out.
There are hundreds of people here. Everyone got the same tip.
Trying to see the Trevi Fountain without the crowds is an effort in futility. Even though we arrived before sunrise, so did a lot of other people. We were still able to get some nice photos and we didn't have to wait in a long line, so it can be worth the effort, but don't expect peace and quiet. Our hotel is conveniently right next to the Trevi Fountain, so we'll be back again later in the day. We enjoyed breakfast at our hotel with a nice view of the Trevi Fountain.
Welcome to the Spanish Steps. There are 138 steps to the top, and these stairs were built in 1720, so they've been around a while. The name comes from the nearby Spanish embassy to the Vatican, so if you were ever wondering why they're called the Spanish Steps, that's why. They're a really popular place to hang out both day and night, but don't think about sitting on the stairs. You used to be able to, but there are cops around preventing you from doing that now, and don't even think about eating on the stairs. Our next stop is the Pantheon, and I have a big tip. It gets very hot in Italy, so we totally understand if you want to wear tank tops, spaghetti straps, but you cannot come into the Pantheon with exposed shoulders because it's a church. You must cover your shoulders, cover your knees, you can't wear short shorts, that sort of thing. Luckily for me, my dress, although it has spaghetti straps, is convertible, so I was able to make it.
The columns of the Pantheon are monoliths, which means they are made of a single piece of stone, and they're 40 feet tall.
You have to have a ticket in order to get into the Pantheon. So if you want to skip the lines, be sure to book your ticket online in advance, and then you can just walk right in.
The Pantheon has been in continuous use throughout history, making it one of the best preserved ancient Roman buildings in the world. It began as a pagan temple dedicated to all gods, which helped give it the name of Pantheon. In the 7th century, it became a Christian church. There are several memorials and burials inside the Pantheon. The most notable people buried here are the painter Raphael, King Vittorio Emanuele II, the first king of Italy after Italy became unified, and his successor, King Umberto I.
The most impressive feature of the Pantheon is its mathematically perfect dome. It's made of concrete, which is a Roman invention. It stands 142 feet tall and 142 feet wide. It starts out thicker at the bottom and gets thinner at the top to support its weight. The Pantheon has been standing for 1,900 years, and the dome was the inspiration for St. Peter's Dome, the Duomo in Florence, and the U.S. Capitol.
The oculus in the center of the dome is the only natural lighting in the Pantheon, and it's 30 feet wide and fully open to the elements, which means that when it rains inside the Pantheon. So there's drainage holes around the center and around the sides. The floor slopes outwards towards the drainage holes to release the water, so that the water drains without pooling.
If you want to drink while you're in Rome, just get it from a fountain. Refreshing.
We've come to Sant'Ignazio, the church with the mirror, where you can take a photo of yourself with the ceiling. And the ceiling is impressive, but skip the long line for the photo and go check out the fake dome instead. From a certain perspective, it looks like you're looking up to a very tall dome. But if you move around the church a little bit, you'll see that the perspective is off, and that's because it's actually painted on and it's a flat ceiling. How cool.
We've made it to Campo di Fiori. It's a market square that's been around for centuries. In the morning, market stalls pop up and it's great for doing a little shopping or if you want to get some fresh fruits and vegetables for a picnic. In the evening, this place transforms and becomes a great hangout spot.
The statue behind me commemorates Bruno, a heretic who was burned at this spot in 1600.
We're passing through Piazza Navona on our way to find some lunch. And this place is a fantastic place to hang out. It's great people watching all day long. There's restaurants on the perimeter of the piazza, and there's fountains in the middle. It's great people watching, but it really comes alive at night.
Yeah, they have street performers, the fountains are all lit up, and the restaurants can be a great place to enjoy the view.
Absolutely. We want some lunch, so let's go find it. Just out in the open, visible for anyone to see. Well, we found some delicious food. We came to I Supli dei Coronari for, obviously, supli. Supli is a traditional street food that you can find all over Rome. These are fresh made. It's basically rice balls filled with different things. This one that I'm holding is the classico, which is chicken, tomato, mozzarella, and parmesan. Should be pretty good.
Probably a little hot too.
Look at that. Look at that pull. Oh my gosh, it's still going.
Do you need a little help?
Wow, that is so good. Obviously very freshly made. It's got a good tomato flavor, very creamy on the inside. Rice is soft, not crunchy. This is really good.
And I got the supli carbonara. It's got egg pecorino, guanciale, and mozzarella. Let's take a bite. Wow, it's very creamy. This one's more of like a white sauce kind of type of thing, not a red sauce, no tomatoes in here. It's like the perfect carbonara inside a tasty little present.
For our last supli, we got the matriciano, which is tomato, pecorino, mozzarella, and guanciale. Looks really good. The cheese and the tomato mixed together becomes very creamy. You've got a little bit of savory saltiness from the guanciale. This is delicious. All three flavors of supli that we've tried are delicious, but I think my favorite has to be the carbonara. For a little after lunch snack, we came to Pompi, which is known for their tiramisu, and I got banana cioccolato tiramisu. I've had this before, so I know it's already going to be good. Let's dig in. So good. And if you're not a coffee person like I'm not, get this. You can't hardly taste any coffee, even though it is tiramisu. I'm getting misted right now by restaurant misters. This is the misters and the tiramisu. Perfect combo. We took a brief escape from the heat by hanging out in our room. And now that we're refreshed, we're ready to go out and explore Rome some more. Our first stop is going to be the Trevi Fountain, which we can see right behind us. This fountain was built in the 1700s and it was designed by Bernini. Legend has it that if you throw 1 coin in the fountain, you're sure to return to Rome. If you throw 2 coins in the fountain, you'll find love. And if you throw 3 coins in the fountain, you're gonna get married. And you have to throw the coins from your right hand over your left shoulder. So let's go. Well, we made it to the Colosseum, one of Rome's top sights to see. And if you're coming, we have a big tip for you. You must buy tickets in advance because they don't sell them at the door. And tickets sell out super far in advance, so you really got to be on the ball. But we scored our tickets only a week ago because we got audio-video guided tickets, and they must be like a hidden secret. So if you can't find the ticket you're looking for, check out the audio-video section, and you might be able to score a last-minute entry into the Colosseum just like us. The hallways of the Colosseum are called by the Latin word vomitorium. At the end of the match, the Colosseum would vomit out its contents as everyone left, thus giving us the English word vomit. Don't spend too long on the main level right by the entrance. There's a lot more to see. When you go up to the second level, the first thing you'll encounter is this awesome museum that talks a lot about the history.
The Colosseum was built in 80 AD, and when it was in use, it could fit up to 50,000 spectators watching the gruesome battles to the death of gladiators and animals. Down below you can see the original basement where they would keep the gladiators and animals, and the platform down here was the original height of the floor of the arena.
The floor was built from wood boards that were laid down and then covered in sand, and the sand was used to absorb the blood from the battles. After nearly 500 years of continuous use, gladiator battles fell out of favor, and the Colosseum essentially shut down. It was closed for about 1,000 years, and a lot of different things contributed to its damage. Just general wear and tear from all the wind and rain and neglect, plus it was damaged by earthquakes in the 1300s, and most importantly, stones from the Colosseum were raided by citizens of Rome to use in other buildings around the area, including St. Peter's Basilica. It wasn't until the 16th century that people took pity on this and began restoration processes. And the legend goes that so long as the Colosseum shall stand, the city of Rome shall stand. So it's been going strong for 2,000 years.
If you buy a ticket to the Colosseum, access to the Roman Forum is included.
And the Roman Forum is massive. It is ruins from ancient Rome that span about 500 BC to 500 AD, so about 1,000 years of ancient Roman history lies right below us. And we highly recommend coming here. The views are incredible, and the ancient structures are just awe-inspiring. We made it to the top of Palatine Hill, which is one of the best views of the Roman Forum and Rome as well. And it's great during golden hour if you can make it. Well, it was a short but sweet visit to the Roman Forum. And now we are headed to find hopefully a nice view of sunset. Looks like we've got a long walk ahead of us. We are heading towards the Tiber River, and we'll see how this goes.
We'll see if we make it.
Yeah. After a long day, it's time to get some dinner. And we saw this place last night, but we didn't go there because the line was astronomically long. So we're gonna check out Cantina e Cucina, and we're gonna see what they have. Let's go. To start, we got ham and melon, or prosciutto e melone, and you're supposed to eat them together. Looks very good, but melon might not be in season right now, so we'll see. The flavors are delicious. You have a little bit of saltiness from the ham, sweetness from the melon. It's a great combo, and it'd be better if it were July because that's melon season.
Tonight I got the cacio e pepe, which is cheese and pepper on pasta. Looks very good. Very cheesy. Not too much pepper. It's a good level of pepper. Very tasty.
I got the amatriciana, which is tomato sauce, cheese, and guanciale. The tomatoes and cheese combination makes it such a creamy sauce. The guanciale makes it nice and salty, and the pasta is cooked perfectly, so it has a nice amount of chew to it. This is really good.
Well, dinner was amazing.
It was very filling, and we're very glad we tried Cantina e Cucina. There's always room for gelato, isn't there? So we're actually heading back to Frigidarium. Yes, we've been there before, but it is so good.
It's the best.
It's the best. It really is. So let's get some. It was a really tough choice, and I was struggling. I really wanted to get exactly what I got last night, but I branched out. I got stracciatella and fior di latte. So that's like chocolate chip and just a basic cream. Looks really good. That is so good.
I got crema fiorentina and baccio. Wow. That chocolate is amazing. Kind of like hazelnut chocolate. Tastes just like the candy. Baci.
Well, we're back at the Trevi Fountain where our day began.
It's been a very long day and we've seen a lot. What was your favorite thing?
My favorite thing was the Colosseum, for sure.
Oh, you stole my idea.
Oh no, the Colosseum is absolutely fantastic, and we spent a lot of time there, so it makes sense that it was our favorite thing.
Yeah.
It was really nice to end the day with a beautiful sunset overlooking the Tiber River and the Vatican City, which was gorgeous.
Yeah.
But it's been a long day, like we said, and our feet are really hurting, so we're gonna call it a night. Good morning from Rome. We have some very ambitious plans for the day that involve catching a 6:20 a.m. train from Roma Termini to La Spezia. And if everything goes well, we will be exploring the Cinque Terre today. Well, mission 1, get to La Spezia, was complete.
I'd say we did a good job of that. Once we got to La Spezia, we dropped our bags off at a store that is also a partner with a baggage storage company.
We used the app Bounce to find luggage storage because we are transiting from Rome to Florence. That's our ultimate goal for today. But we're being super ambitious by also trying to do a side trip to Cinque Terre. So we stored our luggage at an electronics store that's like not even a 5-minute walk from La Spezia train station. Super easy, quick, simple. We booked online. Now we're back at La Spezia train station. We bought train tickets to go to Levanto. That's our first stop. It's not officially part of Cinque Terre, but we want to check it out. Also, it is super busy here. We highly recommend booking your tickets in advance. Cinque Terre is a very popular day trip, and it's also a very popular cruise ship destination. And we happened to see a cruise ship is in port today as we pulled up to La Spezia.
If you don't use the website or the app to purchase your tickets, you're going to be in a long line.
Very long. You might miss a lot of trains, and they're not super frequent, so highly recommend booking your tickets online in advance. Now we're going to catch the train.
We made it to Levanto.
Woohoo! It's a town north of Cinque Terre, so it's not officially part of the national park.
Levanto isn't part of Cinque Terre, but it's a great jumping off point for visiting the area. It's very laid back and has a huge beach perfect for relaxing with significantly fewer crowds than its neighbors.
Yeah, it's a beautiful town. It's got a very nice beach.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't really have time to swim because we are starving. So we're gonna head into the Cinque Terre, pick one of the towns, and have some lunch. Let's see what we find. We made it to Vernazza. Woo! We have no idea what we're gonna find for lunch, but we are starving, so let's get to it. We've taken like
20 steps away from the station, and already this place is significantly busier than Levanto. So, I mean, we knew that going into it. The Cinque Terre is so popular with day trippers everywhere.
We found our first bit of food at La Bottega del Frito. We got a frito misto, which is like a fried mix of seafood and vegetables. There's got like shrimp, anchovies, and calamari in there. Let's give it a try. The anchovy first. It's supposed to be really good here. Nice salt flavor. The outer batter's not super crispy. Try some calamari. One of my favorite. I like that one. Very well seasoned. A little crispier on the batter too. Overall, that's very good. Definitely a must try.
After a lunch of fried food, we wanted something a little more refreshing. So, and also it's super hot out, so we got some gelato, which also happens to be right next to the fried food place. It's a gelato amore mio, and it's artisanal gelato made fresh daily. I got pesca and fragola, which is peach and strawberry. That is so good and so refreshing. Oh my gosh. And it's melting. And there's actual bits of strawberry and peach in here. Don't know if you can see that, but it is wonderful. Jeremy got a little more adventurous. He got strawberry and basil. Fresh made basil. It's the flavor of the day. Let's see if it goes well with strawberry. That is so refreshing. Wow. These are so good. And they're only €3 each. Well, now that we have full stomachs, for better or for worse, we've decided to go look for a good viewpoint of Vernazza.
Which means going upstairs.
Recipe for cramps.
Let's go check it out. Well, we made it up to one of the best viewpoints of Vernazza.
We hiked part of the trail to Cornelia. This is before the official checkpoint, so anyone can do it. You don't need the access to the Cinque Terre trail system. And it's like 250 meters, mostly uphill.
Yeah. Takes about 5 minutes or 6.
10 if you stop and take a lot of photos. But it is worth it. The view is incredible. Cinque Terre is Italian for the 5 lands, and it refers to 5 towns: Monterosso al Mare, Vernazza, Cornelia, Manarola, and Rio Maggiore. These towns are all part of a national park, and the really cool thing is that there are hiking trails connecting all these towns. If you want to hike from town to town, you need to buy a Cinque Terre card so that you have access to the trail system. Otherwise, you can't do that. The cool thing about the Cinque Terre card is that you can also have access to unlimited use of the trains, so if you get tired of hiking from town to town, you can also take the train from town to town, which is nice. Even if you're not interested in hiking from town to town, we recommend hiking at least a little bit so that you can get some really incredible views, and you don't need access with the card to do that, just like we saw when we hiked up to the viewpoint overlooking Vernazza. As you can see, we're on a boat. We are taking the ferry from one town to another. It is an awesome, scenic way to do something a little different. And you get epic views of the towns from the water, so we highly recommend this option. Today hasn't exactly gone as planned, but honestly, nothing about today was planned in the first place, so it's truly a miracle that we're even here. We did not plan our time well, and we kind of missed a boat to get to where we wanted to go, so we had to catch a train. The train was delayed, all this nonsense. Basically, our time has been eaten up, and we have a lot less time in Manarola than we thought we would. We have enough time to buy gelato, though. We got limone and melone, and I can't tell you how excited I am. It is so hot. It is so humid. We have been doing a lot of hiking and stairs today. This is calling my name. It's like biting into a fresh, ice-cold melon. It is wonderful. This is a good way to end a spontaneous day trip to Cinque Terre. We are going to catch the train to Florence. It's going to be a lot of work to get there, but we are checking into an Airbnb, and we're going to have a couple days in Florence, so we will see you there. Sometimes when you're traveling on trains in Italy, you luck out and you get dedicated luggage storage. And sometimes you're on stupid regional trains with full-sized suitcases and you have to sit separately and you really have to wedge your stuff in there. So pick your train wisely when you're traveling through Italy.
After exploring Cinque Terre for hours in the hot sun, we were exhausted, so we settled in for the 3-hour ride to Florence. We just arrived in Florence, and we've had about a 12-minute walk from the train station with our luggage on nice cobblestone streets. Not too bad, actually. And we are now approaching the Duomo. We just arrived in Florence, and just like Rome, it is after 9 p.m. and we haven't had dinner yet.
So we are starving.
We don't have too much time in Florence, and we are going to make the most of every meal, starting with this one. First up, paninis from Antico Vinaio. Let's go! Well, we came to Antico Vinaio, and it's close to 10 p.m. So we really didn't have a very long wait, which was kind of a bummer because it took forever to figure out what to get. Honestly, I could not decide. I ended up getting l'Inferno, which came with porchetta, a spicy diavolo picante sauce, and roasted eggplant and arugula. This looks so good, and it's huge! There's so much flavor in the porchetta. It's like roasty and smoky, and it's got like herbs and seasonings on it. It is really good. The eggplant adds a nice texture to the sandwich, I guess. There's not a whole lot of flavor there. And the sauce, it is spicy, but it is so good. And this bread, super crunchy. I could just eat this alone. And Florence is not really known for its bread, so this is a huge winner in my book. This is so good. Seriously, it just keeps getting better.
I got the numero 5, which is a porchetta with crema di parmigiano and a potato cream as well. Pretty basic, but it looks very good. That is amazing. Like Karin said, that porchetta is perfectly seasoned. The Parmesan cream and the potato cream are added there, just add so much flavor. Bread is just perfect. These are some amazing sandwiches.
We walked a little ways away from the sandwich shop and we came to Piazza Signoria to eat them with an incredible view. These sandwiches have been on a lot of shows, so there is a lot of hype, and they lived up to them. They were so good. We have limited meals here in Florence, but I would definitely go back for another sandwich if we could. These sandwiches are worth waiting in line for. If you're needing a lunch break, suck it up and wait in line, or come at 9 or 10 p.m. Seriously, these sandwiches are worth the wait. They are so good.
Well, we couldn't go an evening without gelato, so we stopped at Grum. I got pistachio and fior di latte. Wow, that's some of the best pistachio I've had so far. It's got a good amount of salt and it tastes very much like pistachios.
And I got raspberry and blueberry, which is a combination I've never had, and I've definitely never had blueberry gelato, but it just sounded so refreshing that I had to give it a try. That really hits the spot. It's like eating frozen blueberries. I think this is more of a sorbet than a gelato. I don't think there's much cream in here, if any. And that raspberry is right on point. This is such a great combination. It's like fruity berries. This is really good. I love it. Fruity berries. We are not done with our Florence food adventures. In fact, this is just the beginning. So stick around for round 2 tomorrow.
Good morning from Florence. We're spending the day exploring this beautiful Renaissance city.
This city is filled with so much art and history, everything from Michelangelo, Galileo, Leonardo, and the Medici. So we gotta get exploring. Let's go. The Renaissance was the rebirth of culture after the Black Death in the 1300s. It was a time when society was rediscovering art and science, and it started in about 1400 and lasted for around 150 years. And Florence happened to be the center of it all.
We stopped at a cafe and I got a maritozzo. It's a brioche bun with cream. Looks very good. Wow, it is super pillowy. The cream is super light and sweet. This is just a perfect combination, perfect start to the day.
Well, Jeremy's maritozzo looks really good and I'm kind of jealous. I got a chocolate croissant, or a cornetto al cioccolato, as they say. Looks really good. That is a good croissant. It's flaky, buttery, a little bit savory, not overly sweet, and it's a little bit on the light side of chocolate for my taste. I prefer a little more, but this is a good breakfast. We are in Piazza della Signoria, the main civic center of Renaissance Florence. And our first stop today takes us to Palazzo Vecchio, the building right behind us. It was the town hall of the Medici family. As you can see, there's a statue of David that stands right outside the Palazzo Vecchio. It used to be the original, but right now that's a replica. The original is currently in the Accademia, but it stood out in public until the 1800s. Receiving damage from wind, rain, sun, pigeons, and even a bench. In 1527, a bench was thrown out of the Palazzo Vecchio and hit the statue of David, breaking his left arm off, causing significant damage, if you ask me. And they repaired it and kept it out here for centuries until they finally decided that it needed to be protected from the elements and the people. And they put it into the Accademia.
As you step inside the Palazzo Vecchio, you'll be transported back to the golden age of Florence. Decorated with intricate frescoes, the interior courtyard is your first indication that this place is something special. Prepare to be wowed by the sheer scale and opulence of the Salone dei Cinquecento, the Hall of 500. At 13,000 square feet, this is the main hall of the palazzo, and the jaw-dropping space is so vast that it really makes you feel tiny. The walls of this hall are decorated with magnificent frescoes by Giorgio Vasari. Originally known as the Palazzo della Signoria, this was the seat of power for the Florentine Republic's government. Imagine a time when powerful guilds and influential families battled for control, and decisions that shaped the Renaissance were made within these walls. In 1540, Cosimo de' Medici moved his residence here, transforming the space into a true palace. You can explore the apartments of the Medici, where each room is more incredibly decorated than the last.
By the time you get to these last few rooms, everyone's pretty done, so they can sometimes just skip them, but they look like some of the best rooms in the place.
How does it make you feel standing there?
Not great.
You don't like seeing the ground below you?
Nope, not great with heights.
Well, we've been exploring the Palazzo Vecchio for the last hour or so. You really don't need a whole ton of time here. The frescoes are really pretty on the ceilings, but I mean, once you've seen a handful of frescoes, you kind of start getting frescoed out, so you start moving through the rooms a little faster. We lingered because we had a specific entry time to climb the tower of the Palazzo Vecchio. The Palazzo Vecchio seems to be a hidden gem in Florence. There's really not a whole lot of tourists here right now. Like, we were in rooms and we seemed to have them all to ourselves in some instances. And don't sleep on the tower, because seriously, the views from the tower are absolutely incredible. Possibly the best views of the Duomo, aside from being on top of the Duomo. So it is worth it to climb the 223 steps to the top, and that is what we're gonna do right now. So let's go. If stairs aren't your thing, and 223 stairs sounds like a lot of work for the view, don't let it deter you. Buy the ticket for the Palazzo Tower and only go to the mezzanine level. You can still get incredible views of the Duomo, just like this.
We made it to the top. Check out the view.
It's pretty incredible. Well, that was a really cool museum to explore. Our top tip is to go early to avoid the crowds. After about 10:30 or 11, tour groups start swarming the place. We were able to just walk up and buy tickets right away without any lines, and we came a little after open because usually there is a line before open. So we let the line dissipate and then we just showed up, no line. Also, you can't have bags in there, nothing bigger than a small purse or day bag. If you have a backpack or something else, they do have a coat room that you can check your bags. Also, this museum is included in the Forenza card, so you might be able to save a little bit of money if you add up the number of sites you want to see and decide that it's worth it for you.
We're going to take a little bit of a break from museums and go to the Central Market and see also the San Lorenzo Market. Just around the corner from the Church of San Lorenzo is the San Lorenzo Market, which is an open-air market which sells a lot of leather goods as well as other things. And if you like to haggle, you can test your bargaining skills.
The leather market has everything from affordable belts to fancy jackets, and of course, tons of bags.
Right next to the San Lorenzo Market is the Central Market, a great place to find your food goods like pasta, olive oil, wine, spices. It's also a great place to find lunch. It's also a popular market for locals to come and buy their fresh food. Here at the market, you're going to see parts of the animal you'd never thought you'd see, because they like to use the entire animal to not be wasteful.
The Central Market is a great place to find lunch. There are a lot of vendors on the main level, but there's also a food hall on the second level, which it took us a couple years to figure that out. If you're in the mood for a meat and cheese plate, we can confirm that the food here is delicious. We've had it on a previous trip to Florence.
In the food hall upstairs, there are a ton of options. Something for everyone, including pizza, fresh-made pasta, cicchetti, arancini. There's even a full bar. It has become pretty trendy, so it is a lot more filled with tourists. Found a really good place with some great pasta, and to start off I got the lasagna alla ragu. Let's try it out. It looks amazing. Wow, that is such a robust tomato sauce in there. It's got like a crispy top from the cheese being like broiled or something. It's super tender pasta. Also the meat is super savory and delicious, and the ricotta is super creamy. This is a perfect lasagna.
And for myself, I got the pasta al pesto. It's also got ricotta, and it looks like it has fig in there, which is something I never thought you would put in pesto, but it sounds interesting. give it a shot. These are giant noodles. That pesto is so bright and fresh, super creamy. There is a ton of ricotta cheese in here. Fig adds a really sweet flavor to it. It's very good. And they were making everything super fresh. We can see it being made right there. And it had a very long line, so you know it's good. Highly recommend. The food we found for lunch at the Central Market was incredible. The portions were huge, the prices were reasonable, and the line with locals was long, so you know it's good. Well, our visit to the Central Market and the San Lorenzo Market seems to be a success. This bag is quite heavy, so we're going to head back to the apartment. And then we'll give you an apartment tour, so let's get going.
Welcome to our Airbnb in Florence. We got a pretty nice place here. To start off, we have a fully equipped kitchen with a pretty nice sized fridge, a dishwasher, you got a nice stovetop here, all the pans and pots you need. And coming into the living space, we have a bookshelf here with a lot of different books you could read if you're here for a longer period of time, including a Rick Steves guide to Italy. And we also have a TV. Over here we have a small table, as well as some nice chairs that are pretty comfortable to sit in. Excuse us, we've already been living here a little bit. Over here we have a nice big queen-size bed, as well as a little bit of closet space with some hangers in case you have some coats. And most importantly, we have air conditioning. Always great to have a break during the middle of the afternoon when it's the hottest. And over here's the bathroom. Got everything you need: toilet, bidet, a sink, very large mirror, shower, and even a laundry washer.
A laundry
Washer. And for our best feature, we have a patio. Let's hope we have better luck with the door than in Lake Blood.
It looks like it's off the track, so you can just slide it. Slide it now.
It's not sliding.
Don't break the door.
Luckily, they left instructions on how to open it. So a pretty large patio, I'd say. Even a little bit of privacy with all the plants, and then a little bit of like wicker over here. We've got like 3 different places to sit here. We got a small little table here with some chairs, a main table right here, and then even a tiny little sitting space over there. Plenty of options. But check out this view.
Wow.
We got the Duomo right in front of us. One of the best features of this building is that it has an elevator. So you don't have to climb the 2 to 6 stories of stairs that you could possibly have to do with full luggage. So overall, I'd say this is a very good Airbnb, and we would definitely recommend it in the future.
We really did some damage at the markets today, so let's show you a little bit about what we got. We got some peachy pasta, handmade artisanal pasta on the line of pasta. We also got 3 more bags of pasta, which seems absurd, but they were having a deal, so like, maybe it's okay. We got a lot of pasta here, 3 for $10. 2 other things from the Central Market that we got are this bruschetta mix. The other thing we got, sun-dried tomatoes, and you can ask them to be vacuum sealed, which makes traveling with them super easy and convenient. And the last thing we got was not from the Central Market, it's from San Lorenzo, and it's not 1, but 2 purses. Ta-da! They're not both for me. One's a gift. And I did haggle for this, got the price down, and if you pay cash, and if you buy multiple items, they will generally give you a little bit of a better deal than if you're only buying 1. Well, we got some gelato because why not? Florence has incredible gelato, so you gotta try as many as you possibly can. These are from Eduardo near the Duomo. It's very hot, so these are melting fast. I got strawberry and apple mint. Wow, that is so good, super fresh, very delicious. Also, we should say that these are organic. And then Jeremy got gianduja and fior di latte. The gianduja is the way to go for sure. It's basically like a Nutella ice cream. So good. And then the fior di latte is just a nice cream, and it counters with the deepness of the rich chocolate. It is so good. Get this one for sure. This is delicious if you really want fruit, but I'm regretting my choice and I want chocolate.
Florence is known for having some of the best gelato in the world, but are you wondering how to pick a good gelato shop? Sometimes you'll see stores with colorful gelato piled really high. It may be eye-catching, but it's not real gelato that's made fresh. Look for places that say artigianale in the name.
Bonus points if they keep their gelato in covered containers to control the temperature.
The Duomo is Florence's cathedral, and the main body of the church was built in the Middle Ages.
They didn't have the technology at the time to build a dome large enough to complete the roof, so instead they left it unfinished, knowing that eventually someone would be able to figure out how to build a dome and complete the church. The facade of the church looks old, but it's actually neo-Gothic, completed in 1870. It's covered in white, pink, and green marble, and as you can see, it has pointed arches. A quick tip to determine if you're looking at something that might be Gothic versus Renaissance is to check out its arches. If it has pointed arches, it's probably Gothic, and if it has curved arches, it's probably Renaissance.
Giotto designed the bell tower or campanile in the 1300s, and it is 270 feet tall.
Right in front of the Duomo is the Baptistry of San Giovanni, one of the oldest buildings in the city. This is where Florentines have been baptized for centuries, including some of the most famous figures of the Renaissance, from Dante to members of the Medici family. The building dates back to the 11th century, making it older than the Duomo itself. You can't visit the baptistry without marveling at its doors. The doors on the east side of the baptistry are known as the Gates of Paradise, created by Lorenzo Ghiberti. Ghiberti created 10 panels depicting Bible stories, and he used a linear perspective that created a sense of depth and realism that was revolutionary for the time, and really kicked off the period of the High Renaissance. The inside of the baptistry is covered in beautiful mosaics dating back to the 13th and 14th centuries, and stepping inside is like walking into a jewelry box. Well, after about a 20-minute wait in line, we've made it into the Duomo. As far as churches in Florence go, this is not the most ornately decorated church you'll see, but it is one of the most impressive. The interior has ridiculously gorgeous marble floors, and they are original. There are areas that are roped off to protect and preserve the floors, but it's worth it to look down as you're walking in. Also, don't forget to look up. You will see some very interesting things. For example, behind me, there is a 24-hour clock, and the day starts at sunset, and the clock rotates counterclockwise. So that's pretty interesting. We've made our way to the front of the church, and here we have a fantastic view of Brunelleschi's dome, only 300 feet above us, and it's painted with scenes from the Last Judgment. You can see so much detail in the frescoes. It's funny the sort of things you can see up there, so take some time to soak it in. The frescoes were definitely meant to be viewed from down below. The perspective is completely different when you're up above, and we will see that in just a couple hours when we climb the top of the dome.
Pretty amazing.
Filippo Brunelleschi is the architect of the dome of the Duomo. He was able to figure out how to span the hole that was left in the roof of the church. And if you walk around the side of the church, you can find a statue of him staring up at his creation.
After visiting the Duomo, it's time to see another iconic site in Florence, the Uffizi.
The Uffizi has an interesting history. These days it's known as the best museum in the world to admire Italian Renaissance artwork from the medieval period through the High Renaissance. But back in the 1500s, the building had a very different function. In 1560, the Uffizi was commissioned by Cosimo de' Medici to house the administrative and judicial offices of Florence. That's where the name comes from, because Uffizi literally translates to offices. Cosimo's son Francesco decided that the top floor of the building would be the perfect place to display the family's impressive art collection. And in 1769, the Uffizi officially opened its doors to visitors, making it one of the first modern public museums in the world. You'll find masterpiece after masterpiece lining the halls and spacious rooms, from Botticelli's Birth of Venus and Primavera to Leonardo da Vinci's Annunciation, Michelangelo's Holy Family, Piero della Francesca's portraits of the Duke and Duchess of Urbino, and so much more. There's enough here to keep you busy for hours. It's hard to show the scale of these paintings, but they are huge. You can take as many photos as you want, but unfortunately no videos are allowed, so you'll just have to take our word that it's worth a stop on your trip to Florence. We just finished up at the Uffizi.
Yeah, you could spend a real long time there. There's a lot to see.
Absolutely. And we definitely recommend that if you like art history, you should do a guided tour. And if you don't want to spring for a guided tour, you should at least get the Rick Steves guidebook because he has some self-guided tours. And we've done them and they're very good.
Very informational.
Super informational, absolutely. That place is a bit like a maze.
Yeah.
You can get lost.
They didn't even want you to leave the gift shop.
I know, the gift shop seemed never ending at the end of it. The Uffizi is a world-class museum and definitely a highlight if you're an art lover. Now we're going to take a little break, and then we've got another big thing to cross off our Florence bucket list.
With a lot of steps.
A lot of steps, for sure. We'll see you there.
We made it to our next stop. We're climbing the Duomo.
We're climbing to the top of the Duomo. It's 463 stairs to the top. No elevator.
The climb to the top of the Duomo is a real trek up narrow, winding stairs that seem to never end. But just when you think you can't do any more, you reach the base of the dome and you're treated to an up-close view of the frescoes. Don't get too comfy, there are a lot more stairs to go. The Duomo has an inner dome and an outer dome, and as you walk to the top, you're actually walking between the two domes. Don't miss the unique interlocking brick pattern that was revolutionary at the time. The final stretch is really steep, but when you pop out on top and see that view, you know it was worth it.
We made it to the top of the Duomo, just in time for sunset. It's pretty incredible.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. And the breeze is wonderful. Much needed after those 463 steps to the top. We're gonna enjoy it now.
They had small feet back in the day.
They really did.
We made it!
The cool thing about the Duomo is that it's a dome within a dome, and we are between the two right now. Right here.
It's a lot easier going down than up. We made it to the bottom.
Finally.
Yeah.
It was a long trek up and a long trek down.
Oh yeah.
And my legs are like jello right now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Besides the view at the top, one nice thing is you can see a real close-up view of the frescoes at the ceiling.
You have to account for the fact that the surface the frescoes are painted on is curved. When you think about how much calculating needed to go in to create that perspective, it's truly a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Just incredible. We've climbed to the top of the Duomo before, but we've never done it at sunset.
Yeah.
And I was hesitant about doing that because, I mean, if you do it first thing, you have the most energy and pretty cool time of day to do it,
Yeah.
like temperature-wise.
Right.
So I was worried that it was going to be too hot and we wouldn't have enough energy. I mean, I was a little right to be hesitant.
It was difficult, that's for sure.
Yeah, it started out pretty warm when we were going up.
But I would definitely recommend going up at sunset. It is a perfect time.
It was incredible. This was a beautiful place to have sunset.
They were kind of rushing us off though because it was closing time as well.
You definitely don't want to walk down those stairs in the dark, so they do have to get you off pretty quickly. So it's kind of a rush to the top so that you could have the most time up there.
Yeah.
But it is so worth it. Those views are incredible. I'm so glad we did that.
Yep.
We're not done with our adventures yet. We still have a little more exploring to do in Florence, so let's get going. It is so loud in here, we have no idea if you're going to be able to hear us. We've come to La Prosciutteria for dinner, and they specialize in giant plates of meats and cheeses, and this one does not disappoint. We've got the Tagliere Grande, and it has like premium meats and cheeses, and it looks incredible. Also, it's per person, so like they build the board based on the size of the group, and it's a group of 2, but this board is massive. We've got so many things here. We've got salami, prosciutto, and various cheeses, and we have breads covered in spreads. We have roasted vegetables. We even have a fig spread here. This looks so good. I'm gonna build the perfect bite. That is so good. Oh my gosh. The meat is just melt in your mouth deliciousness, and the roasted vegetables go perfectly with this. This is so good. I can't wait to dig in further and create other fun combinations of food.
Okay, I'm gonna try one of the bruschetta. We got a variety here. We got like a tomato sauce, some kind of cream sauce, maybe olive, and then like a liver pate kind of thing. Try what I think is the olive spread. Wow. Oh man. It basically tastes like pure Kalamata olives. And this, if you like that, you're gonna love this. It is so good.
They only have a very small number of seats, so we were very lucky to find a table all to ourselves. But they also have glasses of wine, so if you're not here when there's a free table, grab a glass and wait around. This is a good one. It's the Prosecco. It's very drinkable. We made it to our last activity of the night.
We're at the Accademia.
Yay!
And it's 9:30 at night.
It's super late, but this museum stays open late on Tuesdays, and we didn't have a ticket in advance, but we do recommend you buy one in advance so that you can guarantee your entry. We lucked out because it's so late, there was no wait at all. We just walked right in, and we bought tickets at the entrance. Aside from the famous statue of David that's here, there's also incredible paintings and other statues that you should check out, including additional statues sculpted by Michelangelo. These statues that line the halls are referred to as the prisoners, and you can see that they're unfinished, but in Michelangelo's eyes, that's not the case. His philosophy about sculpting was that the image already exists in the stone, and he's just releasing it. And so to him, these were already finished pieces. This is as far as it went for him. He was satisfied, or at least that's one theory. But that's not really why we came to the Accademia, is it? It's the statue of David. The statue of David is really impressive, but there are a couple of small things I wanted to point out. Okay, maybe not so small. First of all, notice his toes. They're pretty damaged, and that's because the statue was out in the elements for several hundred years. And marble is a soft rock, so of course there's going to be wear and tear, especially from all those pigeons pecking at his toes. Second, notice his right hand. It is much bigger than his left hand because it's supposed to be the hand of God. The story goes that he used stones to slay the giant Goliath, and he used the power of God to do so. And then lastly, see if you can notice any imperfections on his left arm, where it was broken in 1527 when a bench landed on it from the Palazzo Vecchio. Pretty interesting stuff. That was such an incredible experience.
Yeah, especially at this time of day.
I mean, obviously going to see the statue of David is incredible in and of itself, but the timing couldn't have been more perfect. We highly recommend coming at close so that you can have it almost to yourself. There were plenty of people there, but it really started clearing out about 20 minutes before close.
Yeah.
We had a great time, and we ended with the place pretty much to ourselves, which was unbelievable. What a great end to our day in Florence.
We're ending tonight with some gelato from La Strega Nocciola. We got strawberry and cream and white chocolate with cinnamon and pistachio. Wow, best strawberry I've ever had. Let's try this white chocolate and cinnamon. Oh, wow. I'm a white chocolate fan, and I'm loving this. This is some of the best gelato we've ever had. You definitely have to come here. Well, I came back to the same cafe this morning for breakfast because we like their stuff so much. And this time, I got a cannolo, singular cannoli. I got a pistachio cream instead of original because I really like pistachio. So let's have a bite. Wow, it's actually quite a bit sweeter than I thought it was going to be. A lot of good pistachio flavor in there. The wrapper has a nice crunch or a nice crisp to it. I would definitely recommend getting this, especially the pistachio flavor. We know this is not the traditional region to get a cannolo, but we had the option and I wanted to try it, so.
Today, we are going on a wine tour in Tuscany. We have a long day ahead of us. We are going to be visiting 2 different vineyards, and we are going to have an incredible lunch. We met our small tour group and quickly hopped on the road, making our way out of Florence and into the Tuscan countryside.
One of the ways you can tell if you're drinking Chianti Classico is if you see a black rooster on the bottleneck. So look out for that next time you're having a Chianti Classico. Okay guys, here it is, Corsano Paterno. These guys make about 80,000 bottles annually a year. Sort of small to medium sized winery.
Our first stop is Corsano e Paterno. They are a winery and a dairy, so we're going to try some wine and cheese.
Better to have them. They've probably got some 50, 55-year-old vines on the property, which they then blend in with some of the young to make a sort of an equilibrial wine.
We got some Sangiovese grapes. That's really good. I've never had a Sangiovese grape before. They're harvesting the grapes right now on the vineyard. Our visit to the winery was wonderfully timed with the grape harvest, and we were fascinated by the process. After watching the hustle and bustle for a little while, we headed over to the wine press.
This is a press machine. It does exactly what it sounds like it does. It presses the grapes, squeezing them, and then the grape skins finally crack, and then there's a filter system that catches the skins of the grapes, so it separates the two, the skins from the juice. These grapes are fermenting.
We're currently in the cellar of the winery, and it smells very oaky in here. This place is buzzing with activity because we came here right at harvest time. They literally just picked the grapes off the vines, and they are currently de-stemming them.
For those who ever think about storing wine like 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, that's the perfect way to store wine in a temperature similar to this, on its side, so that the cork is always in contact with the wine so it doesn't dry out.
Now it's time for the tasting. Let's go.
Our small group headed to the tasting room where we learned about the specific wines we would be trying. This winery is also a dairy, so they produce their own cheese, and we got to try 4 different sheep's cheeses they make here.
It's better to start with a classic pecorino, this one, that must remain minimum a month in our cellar.
That's annoying. Lift it. Not annoying me.
There's also a small shop on the winery selling locally produced items, and we made sure to pick up a few things to take home with us. So that wine tasting was really good. We tried 4 wines, 1 white and 3 reds, and they were very good, and then we did some damage to our credit card. This place offers shipping, so we got 6 bottles shipped to the US, and then we also bought a bottle of olive oil and then some delicious jam to take home with us. On to the next place. Now we're going to lunch at Dario Cecchini's.
It's pork fat, rosemary, sage, thyme,
Ah.
red wine vinegar.
Oh, it's wonderful. This is the start of something good. Dario Cecchini is known as the Butcher of Panzano, and he's famous for his ethical butchery practices and his passion for meat. If you want to learn more about him, we highly recommend watching his episode of Chef's Table on Netflix, or the Florence episode of I'll Have What Phil's Having on PBS or YouTube. After stopping by the gift shop, we headed inside for our lunchtime feast. We just finished up lunch at Dario Cecchini's, and oh my gosh, it was amazing.
It was wonderful.
It was so good.
Absolute perfection.
It was very filling. The food was incredible and so abundant. There were maybe like 6 dishes.
Yeah, like 6 dishes and as much as you would want.
There was enough for seconds, maybe even thirds.
Yes.
It was so much food.
Definitely would recommend this tour. It is worth the cost.
It is so good, and we are very stuffed, but actually we have one more vineyard to check out, so let's get going.
Hard to imagine.
We just made it to our second winery, and it was a like 2-minute drive.
It's our land called Le Fonti, the name of the winery. That means water that comes from the earth.
We got a tour of the vineyard where we learned some of the history of this winery, and then we went inside to see the area where they bottle their wine. Our next stop was the huge cellar where the wine is aged in oak barrels. Then it was time for the best part, tasting all the wine. We just wrapped up our tasting at the second vineyard, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had what, 5 or 6 wines or something from this place?
I think it was 6. It's a lot of wine today.
All very good. We had 3 different types of Chianti that were all aged at different lengths.
Yeah, and it's crazy to taste the difference between them. You wouldn't think there'd be such a big difference, but there is.
And year to year makes a big difference. So.
Absolutely. We highly recommend grape tours. They're based in Florence, but they also have tours in other areas as well. I think there's one in the south of France in Nice. We might be checking that out in the future. But this tour was amazing. This day was incredible. The food was so good.
So amazing.
So amazing. We couldn't show you everything because we didn't want to invade the privacy of the other guests on this tour, so we hope you understand. If you're in Florence and you're looking for a wine tour, this one cannot be beat. Yes, it's a little expensive, but
Totally worth it.
it is so worth it. And the views are incredible. That wraps it up for us in Tuscany, and we will see you back in Florence. Been a long day, but we're still going strong. We're gonna do a fantastic free thing in Florence.
We're going to watch the sunset near the Ponte Vecchio.
Another great option for free sunset views in Florence is Piazzale Michelangelo, but it's a bit of a hike up a hill, and we don't have the energy to do that. So
Not after an all-day wine tour.
no, it was quite an intense wine tour, and it's about a 20-minute walk uphill, up a very steep hill. So we're just gonna hang out on this bridge and enjoy sunset. A little bit of golden hour, not much left. And then we're hoping to get some nice blue hour and watch the lights turn on in Florence.
Yep.
Sunset was incredible, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. It was a great way to end our day exploring Tuscany. Right now, we have our hearts set on pizza, so let's get going.
We got Gusta pizza for dinner. We got the calabrese. It's got tomatoes, mozzarella, salami, and basil. Looks delicious. Wow. Super fresh, wood-fired. As you can see, the crust is super thin, and it's got a good chew to it. The cheese is super melty, and it mixes well with the sauce and makes it super creamy. It was a super long line, but it's definitely worth the wait. Man, this is some of the best pizza I've ever had.
So dinner tonight was from Gusta Pizza. It's in the Santo Spirito neighborhood on the other side of the Arno, the Oltre Arno. It's a great place to come for dinner or drinks or just to hang out and people watch, which is what we're doing right now, but we are soon to get gelato. So we will see you at gelato. We came to Gelateria Santa Trinita, and I got a small cone with mint and stracciatella. That mint is so fresh and delicious. And the stracciatella is basically a chocolate chip. It's got a sort of deep, dark chocolate flavor. This is a really great combo. It's melting. Jeremy got Santa Trinita right here, which is like, it looks like cream with maybe Nutella. That is really good. The other flavor that he grabbed was salted caramel, and I'm very excited to try this one. Oh my gosh, this is delicious. Seriously, salted caramel is where it's at. I'm so jealous.
Good morning, friends.
Today we are leaving Florence and taking an early morning train to Venice, so it should be pretty fun. But first we gotta catch this train, so let's get going.
We took a 7 a.m. train from Florence, and in just 2.5 hours we were in Venice. We dropped off our bags at our hotel and headed to central Venice to start our day.
Well, we finally made it to St. Mark's Square in the center of Venice. It was quite a walk. Don't trust the directions on Google Maps. I mean, the directions are correct, but don't trust the time estimate. Give yourself an extra 5 to 10 minutes at least.
Our first stop in Venice is St. Mark's Basilica. The basilica dates back to the 11th century, and this church is absolutely worth a stop on your trip to Venice. There's always a long line to enter the church, but you can buy your tickets in advance and skip the line, or join a guided tour. The inside of the church is covered in tiny mosaic tiles depicting saints, prophets, and stories from the Bible. Some scenes have been replaced over time, so there's a real range of art, from traditional Byzantine styles to more modern Renaissance images. The mosaics are stunning and glitter in the light. If you buy the right ticket to the Basilica, you also get access to the Loggia, which has incredible views of Venice. The Loggia is home to 4 bronze horse statues, which you might recognize from the movie Inferno starring Tom Hanks. No one is certain when the original horses were created. Most estimates place the statues at around 175 AD, but they could be as old as the 5th century BCE. The statues were looted from Constantinople in the early 1200s. Due to their age, the statues are kept inside the church's museum. The statues outside are replicas from the 1980s.
Let this be a lesson to everyone else. Book your entrance tickets for the Basilica in advance so that you don't have to wait in this absurd line. Well, after exploring St. Mark's Basilica, we are now going up St. Mark's Bell Tower. There is a bit of a wait for this one, but we have skipped the line tickets that we booked in advance, so we get to go right in. Let's go.
Unlike most towers in Italy, the Campanile in Venice has an elevator, so it's very easy and convenient to get to the top. The bell tower was built in the 1500s and stands at about 99 meters high, making it a great vantage point for views of Venice.
The view from the top of St. Mark's Campanile is pretty incredible and definitely worth the ticket price.
You may not be able to hear us because there are a ton of people here, but we're at Bar all'Arco for lunch. We got some cicchetti and drinks. Cicchetti are kind of like toasted bread with different toppings on them, a lot of different variety. Let's try the cicchetti with bacalao. It's basically like a codfish kind of thing. Wow. The bread is nice and crispy, so it's easy to take a bite. The fish is not too fishy. It's very good, very soft and smooth. Super creamy, the fish is super flaky. This is a really good one. We got another fish one. We couldn't quite hear what kind of fish it is. Looks a little less cooked. It's a little more of a raw type fish, a tiny bit chewy. Bread's still very good. Not my favorite. I would definitely go for bacalao over this.
I'm gonna try a mystery. We don't know what it is. I think, if I had to guess, I'd say it's some sort of mushroom cicchetti. So let's give it a go. Oh man, my guess was right. Mushroom and truffle. This is delicious. I mean, if you love truffle. If you don't love truffle, you're gonna hate this. But it's so creamy, super smooth, roasty mushrooms. For a mystery cicchetti, I picked a good first choice. Overall, this is a great place, but because of social media and the fact that this was included in the Netflix show Somebody Feed Phil means that the popularity has exploded and there's a long line and nowhere to eat any of the food. Otherwise, if you happen to be in the area, this is a great lunch opportunity. We decided for a fun treat we'd get some gelato, and we splurged for the medium-sized cones because why not? The top is double milk chocolate and it is so rich. This really hits the spot. We're on a Vaporetto and we're gonna try and find a place to watch sunset. It's a pretty nice view out here on the deck.
The Vaporetto system in Venice is sort of like a public bus system in other cities, and it's a great way to get around and see Venice from the water.
That Vaporetto timing really worked out well.
Oh yeah, perfect for sunset.
Perfect for sunset. We took line 2 around the western edge of Venice and it brought us over here to an island called San Giorgio. And now we have pretty nice views of Venice lighting up at night. Well, we found a place for dinner. We've come to Rosso Pomodoro. We'll see how the quality is. But we ordered some pizzas, and this is mortadella and pistachio with plops of fresh ricotta cheese. I've never had this combination of flavors before, but I want to recreate it at home. This is so good. It's got chopped up pistachios on it. The ricotta is really melt in your mouth, and I think there's a bit of pistachio pesto on top, which is phenomenal. This is a wonderful start to dinner.
I got the Napolitana Antica. It's got tomato sauce. It looks like olives, anchovies. I'm sure some other stuff as well as cheese. It looks very good. Man, I think this might be my first time having anchovies on a pizza. They had a real burst of salt flavor. You really gotta like the anchovies. I do like them, so this is very good. The crust has got a good chew to it. This is a good choice, as long as you like anchovies.
We've got historic cafes on either side of the piazza, and they both have live bands, and they kind of are famous for having sort of dueling music. Right now, this is just incredible.
If you thought Venice was great during the day, just wait until night. All the day trippers have gone home and it becomes so much more peaceful and a truly magical experience.
Good morning from Venice. We have a second day to explore and we have a lot of ambitious plans, I think.
Yeah, a lot of transport.
Maybe we'll go to some of the Venetian islands that are outside of the main area, like Murano or Burano. We haven't decided, but possibly. And we also are going to see the Doge's Palace today. Should be a fun day, so stick around. We are at a very famous landmark in Venice. On this side is the Doge's Palace, and on this side is a prison, and in between them is a bridge, a very, very famous bridge. Back in the day, if you committed a crime, you would go to the Doge's Palace to receive your sentence, and then you would be transferred to the prison to serve your time. And as you were doing so, you would have to cross over this bridge, you would look out the window, and you'd have one final glimpse of Venice before you were incarcerated. The legend has it that you would be so overcome by the beauty of Venice that you would sigh. And so therefore it's called the Bridge of Sighs. Sighs with a not a Z. We are in Piazza San Marco, and it is the only square in Venice that is grand enough to have earned the title Piazza.
It's nearly 2 football fields long and surrounded by the offices of the Venetian Republic.
It used to be entirely ringed with cafes as well, but there are still a few standing, including Cafe Florian, and at night the cafes have dueling orchestras, which makes for great ambiance. If you're a fan of birds, you'll probably love Venice because there are pigeons and seagulls everywhere. In 2008, locals outlawed feeding pigeons, but tourists haven't exactly gotten the message. Plenty of people take food and try and get the birds to land on them, which honestly sounds disgusting. So locals hate pigeons. They're just basically like rats of the sky, you know? I don't know. But they love seagulls because, fun fact, seagulls eat pigeons. Who knew? So ridiculous. After spending some time at Piazza San Marco, we have hopped on a vaporetto and we are heading to Murano. It's an island off of Venice, known for its artisanal glass blowing. Should be interesting. We have no clue what to do or where to go or what to see, so this will be an adventure. We made it to Murano! Well, we just hopped off the boat in Murano.
And within 30 seconds, we were watching glass blowing.
It's kind of crazy. We just turned left and someone was like, glass blowing tour starts now.
Yep.
And we just joined it.
Yep. So they bring you to watch the glass blowing. It takes about 5 minutes or so.
It's very fast.
And then they take you to the shop where you can buy stuff.
Yeah, they have a showroom. The further into the showroom you go, the more expensive and intricate the pieces become. If you want a really fancy piece, I mean, some of those chandeliers, they were like 18,000 euros.
You're going to shell out.
Yeah, I mean, the more difficult it is to make a piece, of course you're going to pay more for it.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
But we're going to walk around a little bit, check out the area.
Go do a little exploring around Murano. Might pick something up as a souvenir, possibly. Otherwise, photos are a fantastic souvenir.
Murano has been the center of glassmaking in Venice since 1291, when all glassmakers were ordered to move to Murano in order to prevent fires from destroying the main city of Venice. Murano became known for its high-quality glass beads, mirrors, and chandeliers, and for a while the island was the main glass producer in Europe. There are still several prominent factories making high-quality Murano glass, and exploring the area makes for a great day trip from Venice.
Well, I did a little damage in one of the glass shops. Got some very expensive Murano glass beads, but they were selling their necklaces for multiple hundreds of dollars. And I know how to make jewelry, so I figure I can do it myself for a little bit cheaper. Still very pricey though.
Yeah.
More than I would typically pay for beads, but it was fun.
We've really liked Murano. It's pretty relaxing. There's a lot fewer crowds.
Yeah, it's a nice escape from Venice. I do imagine that it would probably be much busier if it were peak summer.
Yeah.
But it's pretty chill right now. It's just a nice, charming place to explore, but I think our boat is coming, so we should probably get on it. Well, we made it on our boat, and by boat I mean Vaporetto, not some day tour. We took public transit to get to Murano. It's very easy. Venice has more than 400 bridges, but only 4 of them cross the Grand Canal, including the Rialto. A bridge has stood here since 1180, but the current bridge was built in 1588, and it marks the geographical center of Venice. We came to Osteria al Protego, and they had a huge selection of cicchetti, and everything looked so good. It was really hard to decide, but we got 5 things. I know that it's bresaola, but I don't know what bresaola is. That is very good. A nice rich meat with a very smooth, creamy burrata cheese. The almonds are very tender because they're super thinly sliced, and the balsamic just adds this touch of sweetness. It's really good. I'm gonna try another one as well. I didn't look at the ingredients of this one too closely, so I'm not quite sure. I know there's prosciutto and roasted vegetables, possibly mushrooms. First of all, I'm a mess. Wow, that was so good. I don't know what the herby sauce is, but it's very fresh, it's very creamy, and you've got the saltiness of the prosciutto and the roasted vegetables on top. That's a winner. Already we are off to a great start. Let's see if Jeremy likes what he chose.
I'm gonna try a few here. It's got like an egg salad, white asparagus, and even a little anchovy on top there. I don't think I'll get the anchovy with the first bite. Wow, that's a pretty good egg salad. And that asparagus is actually pretty flavorful. I wasn't expecting that. That's a very good combination. You get the saltiness from the anchovy, and the egg salad is a really good egg salad. This bread is very soft, very easy to bite through. This is a great combination. Now we're gonna try something that's not quite a cicchetti, but it's a little small bite. We got some calamari. This is gonna be a big bite if I do it all in one. Big bite. That calamari is cooked perfectly. It is not chewy at all, so it's not overdone. A good grill flavor, so it's not too fishy. I don't taste really any fishiness. And I'm a fan of calamari, and that's some good stuff. We're gonna wash this down with an Aperol Spritz. It's a great option here in Venice. Wow, very refreshing on a hot day.
That was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I think that might have actually been better than yesterday, and there wasn't even a wait, and we got to sit at a table.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Definitely come to this place for the cicchetti.
Highly recommend.
Now we're going to explore another major site in Venice. We're standing in the courtyard of the Doge's palace. The Doge was the ruler of Venice. He was essentially an elected king, but only elected by the nobles, not the general population. The architecture here is pretty interesting. It's a little bit of a hodgepodge of styles that were added by different doges to put their own mark on the place.
Behind me is the Stairway of Giants. This used to be the main entrance for visitors to the Doge's palace. Imagine a foreign dignitary coming here and having to climb up the stairs. They sure would get a sense of Venice's power and might just by looking at the grandeur of this thing. It's pretty incredible. Walking through the halls and interior rooms of the Doge's palace, you really get a sense of how grand the Venetian Empire once was. For about 400 years, from 1150 to 1550, this was the most powerful place in Europe. The influence of the Doge was felt far and wide, and the palace is designed to reflect that and impress visitors with its grandeur. The palace is decorated with gold-coffered ceilings, paintings by famous Venetians, and of course the traditional terrazzo floors that originated in Venice in the 15th century. The palace was the home of the Doge, but it was also where laws were made and justice was doled out. Elected senators would meet in the palace to discuss new laws, and the secretive Council of 10 would meet to determine punishments for lawbreakers. There was even a way to submit anonymous complaints using letterboxes placed around the palace, which were called the Mouth of Truth.
Well, there's a lot to see here and a lot of history to learn about, but one of the more interesting rooms was the weapons room, which included a 17th century attempt at a 20-barrel machine gun.
We made it to the final room in the Doge's palace before entering the prisons. This is the Hall of the Grand Council, and behind me is where the Doge used to sit. Behind the Doge, on the wall, is a massive painting called Paradise. It is 570 square feet, and it is actually the largest oil painting in the world. It's a short walk from the Hall of the Grand Council to the prisons, showing just how swift justice could be during the Venetian Empire. And our last stop in the palace was the Bridge of Sighs to take in the infamous view.
I don't think that's the sound of a sad sigh, crazy.
True.
There you go.
I wasn't in the right mindset.
I guess not.
We came to the Core Museum. It's on the opposite side of the St. Mark's Square, opposite from the Basilica. It's like 8 p.m. There's really no one here. We only came for a nice view overlooking the piazza, and we got that, but we also got a lot of weapons too. We're pretty museumed out for the day, so we're probably gonna just breeze through this one and maybe head to a cafe and enjoy a drink before we call it a night. Entrance to the Core Museum is included in the ticket price for the Doge's Palace, and for history buffs, it can be a great place to get a comprehensive overview of Venetian history. It's usually not a busy museum, making it a great way to escape the crowds and take in some beautiful views of St. Mark's Square, while learning a thing or two about Venice along the way. Based on this painting, Venice must have been very busy during the day.
Talk about rush hour.
I think our last day in Italy was a big success.
Oh yeah.
We had a lot of fun today, and we're ending with some gelato. We're heading back to the hotel, and we have an early flight to catch tomorrow, so we will see you in the next one.
We only have one day in Rome, but we're gonna make the most of it. We came to Mimi e Coco for dinner. It's near Piazza.
Do you have anything to say?
I don't know. No. Was there anything else you were gonna say?
No.
Okay.
And today was a very long travel day, and I can't believe how much we actually ended up doing. No,
Yeah.
we didn't actually end up doing stuff.
Welcome to the Spanish Steps. There are a million people behind you.
The most impressive feature of the Pantheon is it's mathematically imperfect, and was the inspiration for St. Peter's Dome, the Duomo in Florence, and the U.S. State Capitol. I can't see.
I know. I'm blind.
Is it wide angle?
It is.
I'm trying the soupli carbonara. It's got egg, pecorino, guanciale, and one more ingredient.
At the end of a match, what am I saying? At the end of the match, the
Colosseum.
Yes. No.
No?
I cannot escape this stupid wind. I completely blanked. I don't remember what I'm saying.
Once we got to La Spezia, we
Dropped our bags off. Now we just have to catch the train, and
we made it to Levanto. What? Well, I found our first bit of food at La Bottega del
Frito. We hiked part of the trail to Cinque Terre. We hiked part of the trail to Cinque Terre is Italian for 5 towns, and it's We even recommend even just a little bit so that you can get some. Oh my gosh, just like we saw when we hiked up.
We just arrived in Florence.
Sorry, people are awkward.
That's gonna happen.
I know. I'm sweating because I'm hot, not because the sandwich is spicy.
Ready?
Yep.
Good morning from Florence. We're spending the day. Good morning from Florence.
Don't put my head too far on the side. It needs to be mostly centered.
It's in the middle.
Okay. How does that make you feel standing there?
Say that again.
These stairs